what it is. We're going to talk about tracking macros. Macros is just an abbreviation for macronutrients. You've probably heard of this stuff if it fits your macros, macro diet. There's all kinds of flexible dieting. They're all basically the same thing. The method we advocate for utilizes Dr. Barry Sears prescriptions from the Zone Diet for 30% protein, 30% fat, and 40% carbs. So what you'll see with your numbers is protein, fat, and carbs. Now, to do this properly, you need a macro tracking app. So there is MyFitnessPal out there. I personally don't like it. The interface is a little old and it needs some updates. I am involved in a company called the Better Human app, and I'm not compensated by the company because I'm one of the founders, but we created that around what we didn't like about MyFitnessPal, and that does have an automatic macro calculation feature, and it's very easy and intuitive to use. So it doesn't matter what app you got. There's a bunch of them. Just look up macro tracking programs if you're at a loss. I'm trying to be baller on a budget. You can do you. So once you get your app, you're going to need to plug in your numbers. The numbers that the coaches have been giving out on coaching calls, and that for some of you are being supplied via email, you are going to plug those numbers in. Now remember, with macros, protein is 4 calories per gram, carbs 4 calories per gram, fat is 9 calories per gram. So that's why you look at your actual macros in grams and you'll say, man, I don't have a lot of fat on this. Even if you're doing keto, it's going to look off. Trust it, this works. The 40-30-30 prescription we do for percentages for your macros is designed to get you to roughly a 10% body fat at your target weight. We are basing this off your target weight in a perfect world. So if you're 300 pounds and you want to get down to 150, we're going to base it off eating for a 150 pound person. Now, I'm going to explain that the perfect is the enemy of the good. Oftentimes, folks with tracking macros or diets will beat themselves up because they don't do it perfectly, and the expectation is that should be perfect. You're not going to be good at this at first. The first week is probably going to be very difficult because you're creating a new major life change habit, but I assure you it will stick over time. 21 days it takes to create a new habit. You just have to do it. 80% of the time, make sure it's accurate. So the rule of thumb I follow is 80%. So that's Pareto efficiency. 20% of your efforts produce 80% of your results. But it also means I am 80% compliant. When I track, I try to like eyeball it so it's 80% accurate. You'll see, I know with the Better Human app, we have a barcode scanner. MyFitnessPal also has it, so you can calculate it. Get a food scale at first if you want, but what I do is keep a measuring cup and a food scale by my kitchen, and then after a few weeks of doing, roughly measuring it out, you'll get a good eyeball for how much it is. And there are some great resources that you can do eyeballing portions, search on Google or whatever your preferred search engine is, and find those out. This is not that complicated, but the second you start this, your subconscious is going to say, this is too complicated, I don't get it, I don't want to count this, why am I doing this? Just take a deep breath and give it an honest try with pure focus and good intention, because that's the only way anything happens in life. Now, for more advanced tracking, there is a way that you can drink alcohol every night and still have visible abs, but I will go into that in another video. Speaking from firsthand experience is actually kind of cool. You just displace your carbohydrates concurrently, and we can cover that later, but this is an easy way for you to have the treats or snacks you want in your life without, screw it, I'm off my diet, and then just gaining 40 pounds and then saying exercise doesn't work because you didn't stay on it. So follow those steps, get your macros, input them into your app, track it. The other thing I advocate for personally is I take 1 day a week off and don't track macros. It's not a big deal. Sometimes 2. 80%, guys. 80% compliance, you'll be good to go. So let's go get it.